For some of the most pivotal years of my life, tears were tucked back and hidden behind a masquerade of being tough, being a warrior, someone who could hustle, work hard, and get things done. But it wasn't until I started to get more in tune with who I really am that things took off in my business. Welcome to I Might Cry, a podcast exploring how heart, mind, body, and spirit are all deeply woven into the way we do business. With guest interviews from experts in business strategy, therapy, emotional intelligence, the human body, and so much more. I'm your host, Elizabeth Marks of Almond Leaf Studios. I've been capturing luxury weddings around the globe for decades and now have the privilege of educating others on how to build and grow profitable business doing what they love. I'm on a journey of self-discovery, of becoming more of the uniquely beautiful, messy, and complex human that I was created to be, and I want to invite you to do the same. Join me on this adventure of uncovering the walls we've built that keep us stuck in patterns of limitation so that we can journey into living life with arms and hearts wide open. Let's venture into this together. Today, I'm going to do something a little different than I have in the past. I just feel this message brewing within me. And to be honest, I have no real direction. I have no real clarity on where this episode is going to go. So you get to be on this journey with me. We both get to be surprised together. And we're just going to see what comes up. I'm just going to kind of riff and ramble and trust that the message that is meant for you will flow through me in this moment. I think so much of what life is like as a creative, as somebody who identifies as an empath and a highly sensitive person, there's so much that I can take on in the world. And this last weekend, at the time of recording this, we were traveling for a wedding, and I just seemed to absorb, for lack of a better way to say it, energy, everywhere I go. And I keep thinking about this message that I heard somewhere along my journey where they talked about that someone like myself, and I'm guessing that you as well would identify with this, that when you have that kind of gift of walking into a room and knowing, feeling deep in your bones, you know when something's off, you know when somebody's sad, you know when somebody's excited, you can just feel it just by walking into the room. By being around, sharing a presence with someone, you can feel that. It's very, very easy and natural to absorb that energy. So if you walk into a space where maybe it's especially as a highly sensitive person, maybe it's very loud and it's distracting and there's lots of noise in multiple directions and it feels as if almost the world is shouting at you in every angle. It can be very challenging to come back into center, to kind of ground back into a place of feeling calm, of relaxed, of feeling peaceful and at ease. One thing that's been really helping me with this lately, that I've been kind of really letting marinate in my mind and in my heart and trying to alchemize it into my body, is the idea that I don't have to be a sponge, that I can choose to be a screen instead. Instead of absorbing and holding on to, sponging up and having that just live in my body and carrying those energies with me throughout the rest of the day when things feel hard or overwhelming or loud or scary, when fear comes in, when those things happen, and I'm picking up on that from others as we travel, as we work, from my clients, from wherever those things are coming from, my family, my friends, it's just everywhere. It's just inherent the way that I move through the world. When that happens, I can choose to let it just move through me. That doesn't mean I choose to not feel it. It doesn't mean I'm resisting it. I'm putting up a wall and saying, no, it cannot, it will not. It means that I let it come. I let it enter. I let myself feel it. And then I let it pass. And I just visually imagine it doing just that. Almost as if it's a ball of light or a color or something coming into my body, my presence, my being, letting it linger for a moment, feeling it, feeling the fullness of that, whether that's fear, whether it's sadness, it's grief, it's rage, anger, whatever those emotions are. And then just like imagining them floating on by. I was a screen and they came to me, they moved through me, and then they floated away. And it's been so helpful for me because it's allowed me to feel more in my power in that. Like I'm not going to be shaken or swayed by the world around me, that I have the ability to stay grounded, to feel calm, to feel centered, to feel however it is that I want to feel. It feels so much better when I'm able to remember that and to be in those moments. And as we're traveling, there's lots of moments like I'm a control freak, like many of you do. Like when we are artists, we want things to be a certain way. When we have this like creative mind, like we love for things to look a certain way, feel a certain way. There's just some control. And I think as an entrepreneur too, there's just some control that we desire, we crave. And so for me, sometimes that looks like letting my husband, David, drive the car. I freak out on him. Like every time he drives, I don't like the way he drives. I don't feel safe sometimes. I seem to have this like nervous system response that just kind of happens. And I don't even realize that I'm doing it. And then when I do that, then he starts to feed on that too. And he starts to feel like I'm causing him to then be stressed out and drive even more poorly. And so we had this moment where it kind of felt like a little mini blow up where like he kind of said like, babe, you got to chill. Like you've got to take a breath. And I just felt so hurt and so frustrated by it. And I just had to let this deep wave of emotion wash over me and flow through me, and tears stream down my face. And as I just recognized, like, he's right. There's nothing about this situation. There's nothing about his driving that has been alarming. It was a past pattern of a trauma response. Every little time he like touched the brakes, or every little time the car swerved a little or moved to the right or the left, like I found myself almost in a trauma response, reacting as if like I were about to die. Truly, like that's how intense it was feeling to me in the moment. And I share all of this just to remind us all that as we move through the world, as we get to bring the beautiful creations that we get to bring to this world, as we get to put our art out into this world, as we get to invite others to witness, see, observe us, we do not have to be tied to the outcome. That we can stand so deeply embodied, knowing that we are worthy, that you are worthy, that you are worthy and deserving of all of the abundance, all of the wealth, all of the things that your heart is longing for, whether that's a new vehicle or dream vacation, or if it's buying a piece of artwork for your own home or buying a gift for somebody, whatever the thing is that you are desiring, you are inherently worthy and deserving of that thing. If you desire it, it was meant for you. If you are dreaming of it, it was meant for you. I will be here to remind you of that my entire life. I spent so much of my life not believing that was possible, making it wrong, shaming myself for wanting the things that I desired, for wishing that things could be different, for like dreaming of planning a vacation with my family that wasn't just in my backyard or right down the road, wanting to take my kids across the world. I spent so long telling myself I was wrong for that, for celebrating, so many years celebrating just how cheaply I could get by. And I don't know what your beliefs are about God, the universe, higher powers, but here's what I do know. Life is a whole lot more beautiful when we position ourselves from a place of receiving, of giving, of allowing things to come and go, to wash in and out of our lives without attachment, without pressure. Just truly being open-handed and open-hearted, like receiving whatever beautiful gifts the universe has to give to us and allowing them to go when the time is done, making space for new ones. As you go about creating this week, as you carve out time to get those paintbrushes out or sit down and design or maybe go and photograph someone you love, I want you to just remember the power lives within you to stay grounded, to choose peace, to feel good, to enjoy your beautiful life. You get to choose that. You are worthy and deserving of all that your heart is longing for. And you get to decide. You get to choose how you want to live your life and how good you get to feel doing it. That's all for now. Sending you so much love. Thanks for letting me ramble. Until next week. If you are looking for somebody to lead and guide you through the process, raising your rates, bringing your life, your business, your work into more and more alignment, building a business full of profit and ease and delight, I've got some one-on-one coaching spots open and group coaching containers open as well. DM me and let's chat. I'd love to hear where you're at and if I can support you. If you enjoyed this podcast today, do us a favor and hit subscribe and then leave us a review. If you're looking for more, you can find us at almondleafstudios.com or on Instagram at almondleaf. Remember, you are enough. You are love, you are light, and you are worthy simply because you exist.